please.
Abbott. I am a resident of Tioga County, which is about 70 miles north of Owego, but I've been pleasure to be able to come down to Owego for the past 2 years and meet so many of you and talk and join the Tioga Women's Club for Democracy and be involved in a campaign that has taken me through Shenango and Cortland, Northern Broome, Southern Tioga, and Tioga County. So I have a large district to cover, but in the last 2 years, and since I ran for this office in 2006 and gained 41% of the vote, I am at it again. I was just removed from the working families line on a couple very technical points, but on a challenge in Supreme Court in Albany the other day, I advocated for myself. I couldn't quite convince the judge that omission of a date and a screw up on a township was not significant. But on the other hand, I will be on the Democratic ticket with a wonderful gentleman, our Congressman Hinchy, and a wonderful gentleman, Congressman R. Curry. You don't know how proud I am to be included in that wonderful list of people, and to be on the same line as the President and Vice President. And it is really an honor to be here speaking to you, because for many, many months, I've been thinking of all the issues that affect our lives. I'm 57 years old, and I have been farming for the past 34 years. I've owned 100 acres of land up in southern Tioga County in the township of Ledyard. I've done just about everything a farmer could do, from dairying for 15 years to growing crops, sunflowers and corn and oats and wheat, you name it, I've done it. And navigated around a very, very difficult economic climate. I've been through decades and decades of ups and downs, and this deal with the subprime mortgage fiasco now I've lived through many times. We have a very precarious economy, and when I was in Albany advocating for myself in the Supreme Court, I was also hearing our governor talk about cutting up our credit cards and trying to budget and secure an economy that will make our lives much easier and commerce flow much easier in our areas. In the 123rd district, it's a very rural and very basic economy. We do trade with each other. I would like to see small manufacturing recreated and take advantage of all the intellect and all the hardworking people that we have here. Because we can't afford to lose our young people to the other states. We have to keep our families intact, and we have to keep our properties secured. So these are the issues that I'm very concerned about. I'm very concerned about our food system as being a farmer. I'd like to see our local foods flow right into our schools, and I think through state contracts and raising new processing plants to make our local foods easier and more accessible to our students and to our local neighbors is top priority with me. Secondly, we need to somehow figure out a more sensible formula for property taxes. I think that's on everybody's mind. Number one is the war that we're waging on two fronts, but secondly is our property tax. Many, many people can't bear the burden anymore. So number three is hopefully have a healthcare system that would make quality healthcare accessible to everybody. Fourthly, we have to keep our public education secure. Many people are homeschooling, In our area, in our district, there are Amish and Mennonites that are schooling out of our public schools. So basically, our tax burden is enormous. And fourthly, we really need to recreate jobs. And by doing that, we have to have a sensible approach in our development, not to give these exemptions and go overboard. I think industry that comes in here to settle has to honor our workforce and to honor the secure property owners and know that their tax base can't make up for these exemptions that are being afforded to these large industries. So I'm a very basic thinker, and I would like to accomplish this in the Assembly, working hand in hand with a wonderful woman who I've met and come to very much appreciate and respect, Donna Lapardo. And she is contiguous on the south end of my district. So I have two congressmen and wonderful Assembly people to relate with, and hopefully to secure policy that makes sense for all of us. I'm not used to advertising myself, but I will hold up my big, subtle banner. I guess you can't get any more bold than this. I really do want to win this election. I put an awful lot of time, but awful lot of thought into it. And actually, when you're a candidate, you have to figure out what's important. So I've made a lot of these issues priority in my thinking. Talked to an awful lot of people who have given me an awful lot of insight into the problems in their own lives. I also have a little sticker that's not even a sticker. You tear the vinyl off and you can put it up against your window. If you would, I have an abundance of those. Just go home and put them in your window or on your car. Because actually this traveling advertisement's the cheapest and the best. I run a very lean campaign. I kind of prided myself when I was working with the Citizen Action in Binghamton, who, by the way, the New York State Citizen Action has endorsed me. I've worked hand in hand with their policy and gone and lobbied in Albany with them on the Clean Elections campaign, which will be coming up very shortly in the newspapers. They're encouraging people to write letters for the Clean Election campaign and also for their health care policies. I have also been interviewed by the League of Conservation Voters. I hope to get their endorsement because I really am a conservationist at heart. And also, I've been recommended by Tioga County Labor Federation, and we have two AFL-CIO and labor councils in this 123rd district, so I really do want to work hand in hand with those people, trying to figure out, myself coming from an ununionized industry, how to best work with industry and recreate our systems and not be at odds. So thank you very much. I appreciate being here and knowing you, and for the past 2 years I've very much appreciated knowing the lovely ladies and gentlemen, and I love coming to Tioga County. Thank you.